if you look at the Indian IT, it's pretty much on the receiving end because of the AI trade or anti-AI trade in India, which is happening. Do you see IT companies being able to change the business models, de-gear themselves for AI-led services going forward, and flows coming back into India from an IT point of view?
See, what we have to understand that yes, there is no debate that we have missed that opportunity from the AI tool perspective or the product point of view. What is very important even to implement some of these things, our currently the IT services companies, some of these companies has potential to become a AI enabler. Somebody has to adapt these processes also and these tools, which has to be customized, which means that some of the existing IT company will do the needful. So I am not very negative from the current level. In fact, I will look for a buying opportunity at appropriate time, not necessary at this moment, but at some levels, these theses will start getting built that these companies are now emerging as a AI enabler or adapter rather than saying that just a IT services.
Is it about valuations? Is it about timing where IT companies are concerned? Because you make a very interesting point that at some point they are bound to come. There's bound to be better clarity that it's very difficult to play AI without some of these large IT companies, right? Now, I'm not asking you for names, but is it a time correction? Is it a price correction that you're looking at? And if so, is it maybe 10% more from here? I'm just trying to get a ballpark hint of how much of a correction are you looking at in terms of what it could mean from a buying opportunity perspective?
So frankly speaking, it is very difficult to pinpoint. We are not a guy who talks about particular levels specifically. We believe in inflection point. So extreme inflection point, which is very difficult to project that inflection point will come 10% lower or 8% lower. Okay. As and when it happens, we will tend to participate. As of now, those inflection points have not reached. So which means some more correction and maybe more correction in terms of time also is still there appropriate time, but you cannot be short at these names. You cannot. One has to look for opportunity. So you can't have a background in your head, where you are extremely bearish. Then you will miss out this opportunity. So you have to settle down that negativity is behind us. At appropriate time, these stocks will also become some meaningful addition to your portfolio. But that's the approach we are approaching with this sector.
Sandeep, the Capex cycle, you expect a significant pickup there, and would therefore some of the Capex plays also become interesting in terms of a buy, because we've not seen a particularly strong growth in that particular region as well. So could that turn? Is that at an inflection point?
I think it is actually other way. Capex cycle has actually peaked out from a slightly medium-term perspective. If I look at, maybe it's too early to say whether it's again going to pick up, because even current government focus is more on the consumption side, which has been neglected. The GST reform or income tax reform, which we have seen, is actually moving in a direction to boost the consumption. At this point in time, I'm not very extraordinary bullish on the Capex cycle. Rather, I will play a consumption theme in the difficult environment. That does not mean we are negative on the space. We are very constructive on the large infra space. Opportunities be meaningful, and these stocks have also corrected. But I'm not very gung-ho about from a purely, if I have to look at from a Capex cycle point of view. I think consumption would be a better theme over Capex.
Best would you play consumption, Sandeep? How best would you play consumption?
So consumption is a very broad theme. You can participate in select through FMCG names. We like some of the food processing company because they're the biggest beneficiary of GST things. And within consumption, like you have seen, one round of cycle and auto has played out very well. So it's a broader theme. You have to now identify the stock specific opportunity. I will not say within a consumption name. It's a very large range which we are talking about. So one has to be very stock specific to look for opportunity, and you have to identify some of these names because in consumption nothing is still not very cheap. You can't say that this is very attractive levels. So we have to look at on a relative basis, relative underperformance, which the sector has seen for a while. And if you see some opportunity from a growth perspective, those are the names one can look into it.
Okay, Sandeep, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's always great speaking with you. Viewers, of course, that's Sandeep Tandon of Quant Mutual Fund giving his views with regard to what he's penciling in as a year of outperformance where Indian markets are concerned, even though at the moment he's saying you may not visibly see that as something